Everyone wants to be famous, right? Well, sometimes the road to fame isn't always so glorious. Without even talking about the years of rejection that most celebrities face before finally getting their big break, a lot of your favorite famous people have endured some pretty tough times before ending up where they are today. Drugs, abuse, poverty, and depression are all common themes that seem to have helped shape a lot of the celebrities on this list. Let's take a look at how some of the world's biggest stars got to where they are today with our list of 10 famous people who survived shockingly terrible childhoods. Charlize Theron. The absolutely stunning South African actress may now live the charmed A-list life of beauty and acclaim, but when she was young, she suffered the unthinkable. At just 15 years old, her alcoholic father tried to kill her and her mother by firing his gun at them. Her mother was also armed, however, and eventually fired back at him, killing him on the scene and saving herself and Charlize's life. Theron's mother was never charged with the incident, as it was considered an act of self-defense. We're sure that this trauma helped shape Charlize into the brilliant actor she is today, but we're very sorry for the hardships she had to endure. Anderson .Paak. These days, Brendan Paak Anderson is better known as the up-and-coming recording artist and music producer Anderson .Paak. His 2016 album, Malibu, has deservedly garnered a lot of traction in the hip-hop community, which makes sense since he's been supported by hip-hop icon Dr. Dre. Paak's life didn't start out so easy, however, as he was born into a poor Black and Korean family in Oxnard, California. At the age of 7, Paak witnessed his already distant father attack his mother on the street in front of his house. His father was arrested, and Paak hasn't seen him since. While Paak was trying to get his music career going, he was also working at a marijuana farm. Unfortunately for him and his wife and son, he lost his job without warning and the family became homeless. However, ever since Dr. Dre has gotten involved, Paak's career has taken off and his life has turned around. His music's infused with soul, and there's no doubt that he draws upon his past to help create his incredible songs. Johnny Depp. Pirates of the Caribbean superstar Johnny Depp describes his childhood as troubled. He explains that his father's job constantly had the family relocating every few years, and that caused him to have difficulty making good friends. Depp says he began experimenting with drugs and alcohol as a young teen. He considered himself a loner who engaged in self-harm and would lock himself in his room for days at a time to avoid family problems. Depp has turned into the most in-demand actor in Hollywood and claims his past motivated him to do that. We're sorry for the tough times that he had to go through, but we're definitely thankful for the many amazing performances Depp has given to the world. Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is currently the queen of hip-hop. Minaj was born in St. James, Trinidad and Tobago, and raised in Jamaica. The young rapper admits that her childhood was far from perfect. Minaj says that her father was addicted to alcohol and other drugs and attempted to kill her mother by setting their house on fire when she was a child. Afterwards, Minaj and her mother moved to New York, and it was then that she started falling in love with and studying music. Minaj has said that her upbringing lacked discipline, and therefore she had to create and practice her own self-discipline. This tough childhood likely helped her gain the success that she has today, as Minaj is currently worth over $50 million and is considered one badass lady. Katy Perry. Katy Perry is one of the biggest stars in the world of pop music. She holds a number of records for her catchy tunes, and the fact that she's drop-dead gorgeous certainly hasn't hurt her career as well. She wears wild outfits and sings about risque topics, but that wasn't the case when Katy Perry was growing up in her deeply religious, born-again household. She said how her evangelical minister mother never read any book but the Bible, how she wasn't allowed to say the word devil or listen to non-religious music. We're happy for Katy that she's been able to express herself more creatively and liberally throughout her career. 50 Cent. Born Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent featured his tough childhood in the 2005 film Get Rich or Die Tryin', which was basically based on his own life. 50 Cent was born to a 15-year-old drug-dealing mother who continued to deal until she was murdered when he was only 8 years old. Following her death, Jackson moved in with his grandmother, but by age 11, he had already started selling crack cocaine on the streets. By age 12, he was carrying a gun to school and was sent to a correctional facility after the school authorities caught him. While he was serving time, he adopted the stage name 50 Cent as a metaphor for change. And change he certainly did. Today, the 39-year-old is one of the most successful hip-hop artists and entrepreneurs around. Jackson is currently the 5th richest figure in American hip-hop with a net worth estimated at $140 million. Now that's a lot of change. Woody Harrelson. There's a reason Woody Harrelson was such a, natural and natural-born killers, as his father was a real-life convicted assassin. Woody found out about his father's murders one day while he was listening to the radio, and they were talking about the murder trials for Charles V. Harrelson, his father. In the early 2000s, Woody would go out to spend millions of dollars in legal fees to help fight his father's cases, but when his father passed away in prison in 2007, that came to an end. Woody Harrelson is one actor with a convincingly tough edge to him. Now you know why. Jim Carrey. It's famously said that comedy is what you get when you take tragedy and add time. That seems to be the case when you look at the childhood of world-famous comedian and actor Jim Carrey. When he was 12 years old, his father lost his job, leaving the impoverished family to live in a van for a while and work odd jobs together. Carrey saw his grades plummet as he was forced to work 8-hour shifts after his full school days. Eventually, his incredible comedic talent began to pay off as he started making extra cash for his family by performing at local comedy clubs. Nowadays, Jim Carrey still deals with manic depression, but at least he doesn't have to worry about money anymore as he's had a very lucrative career. Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga seems to be one of the more outgoing and confident stars in the world, but as it turns out, she actually had a very tough time growing up. When she was a child, she was decidedly unique and thus found herself often ridiculed and bullied by her peers at school and in her neighborhood. Her confidence was completely shaken, and she found herself dealing with depression, anxiety, and destructive behavior. Gaga's music is filled with incredible passion and important messages about struggle and self-worth, and there's no doubt that she draws from her troubled childhood when creating her art. Rihanna. Rihanna is undoubtedly one of the biggest stars and badasses that the music industry's ever seen. Her amazing voice, dance moves, and bad girl Riri persona are legendary. It seems that a lot of Rihanna's tough exterior was shaped from a troubled childhood. Rihanna's father, Ronald Fenty, was addicted to alcohol and crack cocaine and abused her mother regularly. Rihanna's mom finally left the family when the singer was only 14. The shocking part about this is that Rihanna's publicly talked about her father, saying, "As awful as he was to my mom at times, it didn't compare to how great he was as a father." So, there's our list of 10 famous celebrities who had shockingly tough childhoods. Are there any other crazy stories that you know about? Were there any on this list that caught you off guard? Let us know in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fun videos like this one.